So it's Tuesday morning, 9:58. Yesterday, the setups I had in place never really triggered. I gave it some time. I waited all the way till about 9, and then I just canceled those orders. Um, so instead, I think what I could do now, what I'll do is I'll show the setup now, so you can see where the setup was, and when I closed it. So I'll open two 0.5 for each. Just really kind of getting your risk management, trying to get my risk management on point. Have a little bit more control over my positions. Okay, so that's it. We are set up. That still might not be the end of that move, guys. So let's see how that plays out. Okay, guys. So it's now 20 past 6. Price has not come back down to those areas that I had marked up, so have not even got past the 50% on that, but it still looks okay on the 15 minutes. If you go to the 15 minute, this is still our low. So sometimes what I do is I basically just, if price doesn't really get to where I want it to go, so you can see that was the break there. This is the current high. But we haven't come back down, so 50% of that would be that move. Sorry. This is just about reached the 50, but it didn't quite. So, maybe it's come back far enough and it's moving on. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a bit more time. If by 9 o'clock I still have nothing, I'm going to close these and it'll be a no trade day. It's okay to have days that you don't trade. You're following your rules, you're waiting for setups. If those setups don't happen, don't force trades. Don't be, don't feel like, okay, I've missed out. I have a goal of 1%, A goal is just that, it's a goal. It doesn't mean you have to. It's not like, a deadline or if I don't get this target, at the end of the world. No, because if you end up forcing yourself to trade just because of that, you're going to end up losing. Okay, guys, so obviously you see where that setup didn't play out, but it's okay, I'd rather a setup is not hit and we have no trade and we go on to the next day. I'd rather it be that than me forcing a trade just because I'm trying to hit my targets of, the 1% a day. That's, it's fine. I'd rather take no trade, no loss, no win than forcing a trade and taking a loss. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Instead, what I want to show you is I've kind of been trying to figure out what is the best way for me to push these trades to get maximum out of them while still, being fairly conservative. Not that I'm being aggressive with the trade, it's the same trade, but how can I run these trades as long as possible? And one thing I was looking at initially was the first position is 0.5. So as soon as it hits that 0.5, I would have brought my stop to break even and taken 50% of that position, and then keep following it. And then when it gets to 1, I bring my stop to 0.5. When it gets to, then I go to 2, I bring it to 1. What I found the issue with that, and then the second position was I was looking for 1 to 1, and then I would close half, and then when it gets to 1 to 2, I'd bring the stop to 1 to 1, and so on. But what I found with that is that doesn't necessarily line up with if I'm in a buy, the previous low, right? So if we're making higher highs and higher lows, it's not really lining up with those higher lows, which is kind of where, if it is continuing up, it shouldn't be breaking that, right? So I thought maybe that's how I've got to play it. Wait till you've got a new low, then you mark that as your new take profit or stop out. So let me just show you what I mean by that. And it's actually quite powerful because some of the runs go, quite far in, and you're getting 1 to 3, 1 to 4. I've hit even. So you're taking a lot more. And even those days that you're not trading, on the good days, it's you're still getting around a 1 to 2 overall on average, I would say. So let me just quickly show you guys this this setup. Let me just minimize that. So let me just go as far back as I can go on the 5 minute. Let's go to July the 4th. Okay, so the furthest back we can go on the 5 minute is 19th of September, which is also a Monday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my replay on just over there. And the other thing I'm trying to be very strict with is I only mark my first, because yesterday I think the reason I didn't get into the trade is I marked my break of structure too early. And what I mean by that is I've got to wait until we are in London Open. So for example, there. So I'm not taking any structure before that. So this is my first structure for now, would be this low, provided that the MACD confirms this, which it did. Okay, so that's my low, and I'm now waiting for my high, okay, which is there. So now I have structure that I'm looking at being broken, okay, and I want to see a fairly clean, consistent, strong break out of that. Okay, we now have this as our low. I'm not going to take this as my new high just because it's only one candle that's giving me the green. I'm going to keep this as my high. So let's see. Okay, we broke that anyway. So that's a nice, fairly nice clean break. So if this is our move, I'd look at where the 50% is, which is right over there. So what I will do to start off with, I will, sorry, where was my 50? It was right on that, okay. So let me place my first buy on the 50, which lines up with this structure break there, which is a nice place to have in order anyway. And then we've currently got ATR of about 6, so I'm going to add 6 to that. So let's do 25. That's fine, and this is going to be a 0.5, our first position. And then the second position, I'm going to look at this order block over here, which was also a clean break out. Same stop, and we're looking for a 1-to-1 on this one. 1-to-1 is there, okay? So now, let's see how we actually manage this. Okay, so we are in there. We're in this one as well, so we are in both of these trades now. Okay, so I'm going to wait for a nice push up. So what I would have done now is I would have taken 50% off here, so that's 25 and 12, call it. So I've already taken 25, so about 37 off the table. And now I confirm my most recent swing low. So this now will become my stop, okay? And even if it stops me out, I'm going to lose a little bit there, and a little bit there. I'll probably lose what I made there, and then lose a little bit. So I'll still be overall up on that one. So we let this play out. Okay, so we now have a new stop. Okay, this is now our new stop. So we currently are now sitting at a guaranteed profit on this one of another, what is it, $14, and on this one, $32, right? And we're just going to keep letting this play out. So what I'll do is I'll just pull this one along. Let it play out. We now have another break, so I can push this up to there. Take this up. And you just follow your take profit like this, or your stop. It's your stop, but it will be in profit, right? And we now have a new break over there, a new swing low. So we take that. This is now sitting on a 1 to 2.4, which is awesome. This one is sitting on a 1 to 1.8. So looking pretty good at the moment, guys. Nice big push up there. This is now our new low. And we just keep following the whole time. Okay, there. So that stopped us there eventually. So this one we ended with a so it was the 25 initially plus what is this 75. So that's $100 on that one. This one was 12 plus 71, so about call it 35. So 40 something. So overall, very, very decent trade on that. That is well over 2%. So those days that you don't get trades, you're still getting trades like this, right? So let me just play one more out, see how it goes. So the things I am making sure that I do is wait for the London Open, and that's when I start marking my positions. Because I'll actually show you yesterday's trade would have been in. Oops. Okay, so here we are. London Open was there. This would have been my first swing low. Then this was my swing high. It was quite small, but I'll take it at that. It's this one over there. And then we broke this, obviously, right? So if this is our move, we're looking at our 50 is about over there. So what I'll do is I'm going to take it on this, the wick over there. That's going to be my first entry short. So I'm going to look at that. 65, so let's add 6 to that, so it's going to be about 23, and then obviously the 0.5 is our first target, and then I can delete this because the next is going to be on that order block, short position, and we're going to take it on the candle. We can be a little bit more tight with that and go on the body, same stop, and this is a 1-to-1 we're looking for over here. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. Okay, push further down, never actually tapped into those, or not yet at least, so let's keep pushing these along. This is the other thing I'm going to do is once I've got my first positions, I'm just going to wait until the end of New York. If they haven't hit by then, I just close and we have a no trade. That's just how it is. Let this play out. So obviously that is a no trade, guys. I mean, pretty obvious. So now we just go to the next day. So I delete these, never came back to pick those up, which is fine. The day before we already made our 2%, so we've covered this day. So now we're just looking for, okay, so this is open. So because that is right on it, we can take this as our low. This is our high, and now we are looking for break of that either way, right? Okay, we have a new low now. A new high. We will follow this all the way into New York. I mean, I don't mind. I want to I want to try get a trade. Okay, so we have our break there. This is actually our new high over there. We have broken that. And let's see how far price is pushing. Okay, so if we look at that whole move, our 50 is pretty much on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the short right on that there. Our stop is going to be there, and we're looking at 7. So let's do it at just do 30. And I know you guys must be thinking, oh wow, your stops are so big, but at the end of the day, if it's working, I'm not going to change anything, I'm not going to be too greedy, and then my next position is going to be right on that wick over there. Same stop, and this one we're looking for a 1-to-1. Alright, let's see how this plays out. Okay, we're in. So let's follow this now. So we entered it over there. It was quite volatile initially because there is some news. What news was this? So it's quite big news. I mean, would have been a 50-50 whether we traded or not. So this one is also in. So I'm just going to move this across so we know that they are both in. So this is also in, okay, guys? So now all I'm doing is I'm waiting for a new low so that I can confirm my high. And hopefully we don't lose these. Okay, so that is now, we have taken 50% of that. We've taken 50% of that. So we have 25 in the bag there, and we have 12 in the bag there, okay? So same again. Now, I'm just going to start following that. So that'll be my stop. So it'll be a small loss there and probably a break even with that. So let's keep going. Okay, and just like that, we now have a new position. So now we have a guaranteed 1 to 3. And on this, a guaranteed 1 to 1.4. So on this one, we're already looking at a guaranteed, what is that, $90 on top of the 25. Again, hitting our 2% there. This one, same, we are 70.35 plus the 12, so over 40. Almost hitting the 1% on that one alone. So let's let this keep playing. Okay, so this is now a new high over there. So we now are constantly making this better and better. This is now 1 to 1 to 4, 1 to 1.7. Okay, so let's just keep it playing. Okay, and that's it. That's where we ended. So this one we took another 106 plus the 25, so 130 on that one. On this one was the 85, so call it 42 plus our 12, so call it 55. So this one is over 3% we've gained on that one. So in 2 days we're 5%, and 1 day we had a no trade. So we're still 5% after 3 days. So you can see how powerful it is to allow the market to dictate where you pull out. So this is kind of how I'm going to push it moving forward. It'll be very interesting to see the difference in our daily profits or weekly profits. If this goes extremely well for the next week, this week, I am going to consider trading this forward on my live, which you guys will see every day. And also if it goes well, in fact, I might even try and bring that live, not the live, the funded account that's down to 91.5 thousand. Might try and bring this back. Every trade risking maybe $250, so 500 per trade, and see if we can come back from that. I might start that today. See if we can bring that back using this method. And if it goes extremely well, and I can bring that all the way back, I might even keep trading that account like this. Because if we can make 5% a week on this fairly consistently, you know, that's $5,000 a week. Every 2 weeks, 10K, you could potentially be taking out 8K every 2 weeks, which is 16K a month. Which, you know, if it does go that well, crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. It wasn't a trade video; it was maybe a little bit more of a educational, show you how I am going to trade. If you guys like how I use these the trailing stops, you know, use it, try it on a demo, see how it goes for you. Yeah, that's it for now, guys. We will catch you maybe later today if we get into some trades. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye for now.